Hi everybody, this is Sharita with CKFM Naturals and Curls Kings Frozen Me. And I've recently noticed that I've had a lot of questions about the types of beads that I use on my girls' hair, the types of rubber bands, and even the hair care that we use. And so I first want to say that we use our own products, CKFM Naturals. You can visit the website, curlskingsfrozenme.com, or my business page on Facebook and Instagram, and that's CKFM Naturals. Now, to shed a little light on the beads and on the rubber bands, there are so many types out there, but these are the ones that we use, and these are the ones that are going to give you the best results. And I also have some examples on what we don't use and why. So let me tell you. Alrighty, so as you can see, I have 4 different beads and 4 different rubber bands. We're going to start with the beads first. So these are the particular sizes that we have all used before. And so the purple ones, and please correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, I believe they are 6 to 8 millimeters. The pink is about 10 to 12. The blue is 14, and the yellow or neon yellow here is the barrel bead. So with the purple one here, these are going to be the most common ones that we typically find. They are the smallest ones. I would suggest using those on, infants or the little kiddos, that if you want to first experiment with the beads and don't want it to be as heavy, that's the perfect bead for you to start with. Next, we have the pink one here, which is the 10 to 12 millimeter. This is the one that you will see on majority of my photos with the girls based on the size of the twist and the braids that I use. Their hair is very coarse, and so a lot of times I'll either, do medium to large size twists, and I'll use these beads. Even when I make them a bit smaller, they'll have a little bit more room to move around there, and it won't, keep rubbing up against the braid or the twist to cause a lot of manipulation. So I use this bead majority of the time. Okay, the 14 millimeter is actually my favorite. It's going to be one of the biggest regular circular sized beads that I like to use. This one is going to be perfect for jumbo twists or braids. And, you can add these on and you'll still have a lot of room and space. And they actually have this size in now. This is the most recent style that I've posted with the girls with their twisted mohawks. And the last bead here is the barrel bead. I wanted to pick this one up so you can actually see its shape. Although it is circular, this one is more of a barrel shape, hence the name there. And so with this one is actually quite large. If you can look at the hole there, it's going to be one of the biggest holes, and it's going to be the longest bead as well that we use. I love these, when you want to just do something different and you don't want to have as many beads on. Now, the pros and cons when it comes to the beads. Beads can be quite heavy and can cause a lot of tension on the hair. And so I would definitely suggest paying attention to how many beads you add onto the hair. I know some kids like to pull on their hair and mess with it a lot, and sometimes my girls do the same thing. And I have noticed, I was asked this question about 6 or 7 months ago, if the ends of their hair was thinning out, and I definitely saw that happening. So when you do put the beads on and we secure the beads at the end, I use a rubber band. Please make sure that you don't make them tight and don't take it all the way down to the end, because when you're putting those beads in the rubber bands and tying it at the end of the hair, all of that weight is pulling down on the end of the hair. When it's pulling at the end of the hair, it can cause breakage and it can cause thinning. And so what I would suggest is to move it up a bit. It may not elongate the braid as much, but you want to make sure that they keep their length, right? So although pushing it down further is going to stretch out that twist or that braid and make it seem longer, pushing it up a little bit is going to save their hair. And so don't pile it on if they have experienced any type of breakage or they have dry and brittle hair. That's definitely going to cause damage to your hair. Capiche? All right. I also want to add one more pro in about the beads. You will always know where your children are. It's like you don't even have to ask. You just listen. I hear beads. I hear. The video was a bit longer than I expected, so I'm just gonna chop it up and do a part 2 with the rubber band. So tune in. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening to me today. And hopefully, on a serious note, someone was able to get some type of information about the beads, the care for it, and about our hair care. So continue to follow and tell someone else about us here at CKFM Naturals and Curls, Kinks, Rolls, and Me. Part 2 coming next.